And I want to talk about your calling because this story of calling is always important to me. I think people struggle around identifying, am I called to something
Hmm.
versus this is what I like to do. So tell me a little bit about how did you know, or how do you know
Yeah.
that this is the thing that you're called to do? How do we figure that out?
So for me, I knew it was God because this was not my plan. Like I never planned to be in ministry. I mean, I thought I was either going to go back to teaching kindergarten or I was going to work at a preschool or do something with little kids, like something that in my brain was like super easy. I'm also very gifted in that. And so I was like, well, that's what I was created for. That was my purpose and my calling. And I think there's a traditional idea too that you only get one, which I had to flip on its head. There's four of us that I would were like the executive team or the lead pastors, and all three of them called it out in me. I just reading scripture, like you can only run from God for so long before you start to see the same things over and over and over again. And so I just kind of knew. And then I actually here's what's crazy. I don't know, a crazy thing. So confirmation for me, I've been prophesied over two times in my life, like twice. Once, I mean, decades apart. And both times people mentioned my feet, which I thought was bizarre. I was like, all right, maybe because I'm a shoe girl, like I had never figured that out. And then as I was really getting closer to accepting that God was calling me to be a pastor, I saw that verse that says, how can they call on him to save them unless they believe in him? How can they believe in him if they've never heard of him? And how can they hear about him unless someone tells them? And
Mm.
how will anyone go and tell them without being sent? And then it says, this is why the scriptures say, how beautiful are the feet of the messengers who bring the good news. And I was like, oh, that's the thing. Like, that's it. Because my whole heart is to reach people, and it always has been to reach people. But that was my confirmation of just like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.